child of heaven, stop. Be still. Do not scroll past this. Do not close your eyes. Do not pretend you didn't hear this. This is not merely a message, it is a warning, a holy unveiling, a divine proclamation that concerns you directly. It is not meant to stir fear in your heart but to awaken your spirit, to sharpen your discernment, to pull you into alignment with the plans heaven has for you. You have been crying out to God, haven't you? You've been asking why the air around you feels heavy, why your spirit is restless, why your peace trembles even when everything on the surface seems calm. You've sensed a shift, a disturbance, a subtle but persistent unease. Now, I am here, sent by the hand of God, to answer your questions, to pull back the veil, to show you what has been hidden in the shadows. Something serious is about to unfold. Heaven has declared that you will not be caught unaware. This is not a vague premonition or a fleeting feeling, this is a divine revelation, a moment where the spiritual realm intersects with your reality to prepare you, protect you, and propel you into the purpose God has ordained for you. Listen carefully, for what I am about to tell you is not a story of defeat but a testimony of victory already secured in the heavenly places. A private investigator or someone hired in secrecy, trained to move unseen, to blend into the background of your life here has been exposed. Not by human hands, not by earthly authorities, but by the all-seeing eyes of heaven. God, who watches what no eye can see, who knows the motives of every heart before they crystallize into actions, has caught this man in the act. He was not just observing you, he was trespassing into sacred territory, places in your life that are under divine protection, spaces God has marked as holy and untouchable. This investigator was not random stranger passing through your life. He was commissioned, paid, and directed with a purpose. He was sent to track your movements, to monitor your steps, to sift through the details of your existence, here your habits, your routines, your words. But this was no ordinary surveillance. His mission was not merely to gather information but to construct a narrative, a lie, a carefully crafted case designed to tarnish your name, sabotage your breakthrough, and dim the light of your calling before it could shine in its fullness. He was looking for cracks in your armor, for moments of vulnerability, for anything that could be twisted into a weapon against you. He combed through your online presence, here your posts, your photos, your messages, even the places you've been. He was searching for something to destroy you with, something to hand to those who sent him, something to justify their hidden agenda. But God stepped in. Heaven intervened. The investigator was caught, not by a trap set by human hands but by the divine authority that governs the universe. Those who hired him believed their plan was foolproof, that their secrecy would shield them, that their schemes would go unnoticed. They were wrong. God saw it all. He saw the meetings held in secret, the whispers exchanged in darkened rooms, the money that changed hands to fund this betrayal. And now, God is exposing their strategy, not to shame you, but to empower you, to arm you with wisdom, to guide you into victory. This goes deeper than you might realize. The one who hired this investigator is not a distant enemy or a faceless adversary. They are someone you know. Someone who has smiled in your face, shared your table, prayed with you, called you friend, family, partner, or even mentor. They have walked beside you, spoken words of encouragement, perhaps even celebrated your victories outwardly. But in their heart, a different story was unfolding. Jealousy festered. Fear took root. Anger burned because they could see the hand of God lifting you, protecting you, favoring you in ways they could not comprehend. They watched as doors opened for you, as opportunities aligned, as your name began to carry weight in places they could not reach. And instead of rejoicing, they plotted. They went behind your back, gathering information, weaving lies, and handing this investigator the tools to dismantle your reputation before your elevation could fully manifest. But child, the truth has surfaced. Lies cannot stand in the presence of God's anointing. Every attempt to dig up dirt against you has turned up gold. Every effort to twist your story has only amplified the light that surrounds you. Your soul is covered in divine fire, a holy shield that no weapon formed against you can penetrate. The investigator's eyes were blinded by heaven's power. His searches yielded nothing but evidence of your integrity, your faithfulness, your calling. And now, those who sought to harm you are trembling, for their plan has unraveled, and the very tools they meant to use against you are becoming evidence against them. Do not skip this. Do not brush this off. The angelic realm is on high alert, mobilized to guard you, to guide you, to ensure that you walk through this season unscathed. I was sent to tell you exactly what is happening, to pull you out of confusion and into clarity. Your enemies are in panic. The one who hired this investigator, the one who thought they could outmaneuver God's plan for your life, is about to face the consequences of their actions. Not because you sought vengeance, but because heaven demands justice. The scales are tipping, and what was meant to destroy you is being turned into a testimony of God's faithfulness. In the days to come, you will notice strange behavior around you. People who were once loud in your life will fall silent. Conversations will shift. Nervous messages will appear in your inbox. You may encounter odd coincidences or questions asked out of context, glances that linger too long, or sudden distance from those you once trusted. Pay attention. These are not random occurrences, they are signs of a plan that has failed, of a scheme that has been exposed. Those who conspired against you know the investigator was caught. They know their cover is blown. And they are terrified, for if the full truth comes to light, their influence will crumble, their masks will fall, and their true motives will be laid bare before the world. But hear this, you are not in danger. You are in transition. This is not a season of destruction but of divine refinement. God is preparing you for dominion, for a level of authority and influence that your enemies could not fathom. You are being shaped, strengthened, and positioned for a breakthrough that will shake the foundations of everything around you. The attacks you've faced were not random, they were targeted because of the greatness God has placed within you. The enemy only fights what threatens his kingdom. And your life, your calling, your purpose is a threat to every lie, every scheme, every plan that seeks to exalt itself above God's truth. Now, I need you to do something. Stay vigilant. Walk in wisdom. Guard your heart, but do not let fear take root. The enemy thrives on fear, but you are covered by faith. Pray for discernment, for God to reveal what is hidden, for His Spirit to guide your steps. Speak life over yourself, declare the promises of God, and stand firm in the truth that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is not a time to shrink back but to rise up, to walk boldly in the calling God has placed on your life. The investigator may have been sent to watch you, but heaven is watching over you. The one who hired him may have sought to harm you, but God is turning their plans to dust. The lies they tried to weave are unraveling, and the truth is shining brighter than ever. You are not a victim in this story, you are a victor. You are not a target, you are a testimony. You are not defined by the schemes of your enemies but by the promises of your God. As you move forward, expect the unexpected. Expect doors to open that no man can shut. Expect favor to chase you down. Expect the very things your enemies tried to steal to be restored to you in greater measure. The investigator's report, meant to be a weapon, has become a witness to your righteousness. The secrets whispered in darkness are being shouted from the rooftops as evidence of God's protection over you. And the one who thought they could outsmart heaven is about to learn that no one can outmaneuver the Creator of the universe. Child of heaven, this is your moment. The tension you've felt was not a sign of defeat but a signal of transition. The restlessness in your spirit was not a curse but a call to prepare. God has been working behind the scenes, aligning every detail, exposing every plot, and setting the stage for your elevation. You are stepping into a season where your name will carry weight, where your voice will be heard, where your purpose will shine like a beacon in the darkness. The enemy tried to stop it, but God has declared that it cannot be stopped. So stand tall. Walk with confidence. Speak with authority. The angelic host is surrounding you, the Spirit of God is within you, and the plans of heaven are unfolding before you. The investigator was caught. The scheme was exposed. The victory is yours. Now, go forward in the power of the one who called you, for no one can stand against what God has ordained. This warning was not to scare you but to prepare you. This unveiling was not to wound you but to empower you. You are not alone in this battle, for the God of heaven fights for you. The atmosphere may feel tense, but it is because the spiritual realm is shifting in your favor. The unease you've sensed is the sound of chains breaking, of doors opening, of destinies being released. You are not just surviving this season, you are thriving in it. You are not just walking through a tower, you are reigning in it. Child of heaven, this is your time. Rise. Child of heaven, as you stand at the threshold of this divine revelation, know that the words you've just received are not the end but the beginning of a transformative journey. The warning has been delivered, the schemes of the enemy exposed, and the victory assured by the hand of God Himself. Yet, this moment calls for more than passive reflection, it demands action, faith, and a bold response from you, the one chosen to walk in this truth. The investigator's failure, the unraveling of lies, and the protection of heaven over your life are not mere events, they are a clarion call to rise into the fullness of your purpose. As you step forward, Let this conclusion be your anchor, your rallying cry, and your guide into a season of unprecedented favor, authority, and breakthrough. Let it also be a moment to connect, to share, and to testify of God's faithfulness, for your story is not meant to be kept silent but to inspire others who are walking through their own battles. The exposure of the private investigator was not a random act of divine intervention. It was a deliberate move by heaven to show you that no plan formed against you can succeed. The one who hired him, cloaked in smiles and false camaraderie, thought they could outmaneuver the Creator, but they underestimated the power of the one who holds your life in his hands. Every step they took to undermine you, every whisper they spoke in secret, every detail they fed to the investigator was seen by God before it even crossed their minds. And now, as their plans crumble, you are being positioned for elevation. This is not a time to cower or doubt but to stand firm in the knowledge that you are covered by divine fire, shielded by angelic hosts, and guided by the Spirit of the Almighty. The tension you've felt, the restlessness in your spirit, was not a sign of weakness but a signal that God was preparing you for something greater. You are not merely surviving, you are being refined for dominion. As you process this revelation, consider what it means for your future. The investigator's failure is a testament to the truth that God's anointing on your life is impenetrable. Every attempt to dig up dirt against you turned up gold because your life is a reflection of His glory. The lies meant to tarnish your name have only amplified the light of your testimony. The one who sought to sabotage you is now facing the consequences of their actions, and not because you sought revenge, but because heaven demands justice. In the coming days, you will see the signs, the nervous glances, the sudden silences, the awkward questions from those who once claimed to be close to you. These are not reasons to fear but reminders that God is at work, exposing what was hidden and aligning what was out of place. Your enemies are in panic, not because of your strength alone, but because the God who fights for you is undefeatable. This moment is a divine invitation to walk in wisdom. The investigator's exposure is not just a victory over a single plot but a declaration that every scheme against you will fail. God has gone before you, clearing the path of obstacles, dismantling traps, and turning the enemy's weapons into testimonies of His power. But wisdom requires action. You must stay vigilant, not out of fear, but out of faith. Pray for discernment to see what is hidden, to recognize the subtle shifts in your environment, to know who is for you and who is against you. Speak life over yourself, declare God's promises, and refuse to let the enemy's tactics steal your peace. The one who hired the investigator may have known you, may have walked beside you, but they did not know the God who walks with you. Their betrayal was personal, but your victory is divine. As you move forward, expect the unexpected. Doors that were once closed will swing open. Opportunities that seemed out of reach will come within your grasp. Favor will chase you down, not because of your efforts alone, but because God has marked you for a purpose that cannot be thwarted. The investigator's report, meant to be a weapon, has become a witness to your righteousness. The secrets whispered in darkness are being exposed as evidence of God's protection over you. And the one who thought they could outsmart heaven is learning that no one can outmaneuver the Creator. This is your season of elevation, where your name will carry weight, your voice will be heard, and your purpose will shine like a beacon in the darkness. The enemy tried to stop it, but God has declared that it cannot be stopped. But this revelation is not just for you, it is for the body of Christ, for those who are watching, listening, and seeking the same victory in their own lives. Your story is a testimony, a living proof that God sees, God knows, and God acts on behalf of His children. That's why I urge you to engage with this message, to share it, to let it resonate with others who need to hear that heaven is fighting for them too. Liking this message is more than a click, it's a declaration that you stand in agreement with the truth that God is moving in your life. It's a signal to the spiritual realm that you are awake, aware, and ready to walk in the victory He has secured for you. Commenting is your testimony, your chance to speak of God's faithfulness, to share how this warning has stirred your spirit, to encourage others who may be facing their own battles. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And when you share it, you become a vessel for God's glory, inspiring others to rise above their challenges and claim their divine inheritance. Consider the weight of this moment. The investigator was caught, not by chance, but by divine intervention. The one who hired him is facing exposure, not because of your actions, but because of God's justice. You are not a victim in this story, you are a victor, a child of heaven, a carrier of divine purpose. The restlessness you felt was not a sign of defeat but a call to prepare. The tension in the atmosphere was not a curse but a signal that chains are breaking, doors are opening, and destinies are being released. You are stepping into a season where God's promises will manifest in ways you cannot yet imagine. The enemy saw your potential and tried to stop it, but God saw your purpose and declared it unstoppable. So, what do you do now? First, anchor yourself in prayer. Seek God's face daily, asking for clarity, strength, and guidance. The enemy may try to regroup, to launch new attacks, but your prayers are a fortress, a shield that no weapon can penetrate. Second, walk in boldness. The investigator's failure is proof that God is fighting for you. You have no reason to shrink back or hide. Step into every room, every opportunity, every moment with the confidence of one who is covered by divine fire. Third, testify. Share this message with others, not to boast in your victory, but to magnify God's faithfulness. When you like and comment, you're not just engaging with the post, you're joining a movement of believers who are rising up, claiming their authority, and declaring that no scheme of the enemy can prevail. The one who hired the investigator thought they could control the narrative, but God is the author of your story. They thought they could dim your light, but God is amplifying it. They thought they could steal your breakthrough, but God is multiplying it. As you read these words, let them sink deep into your spirit. You are not in danger, you are in transition. You are not being targeted for destruction, you are being refined for dominion. The angelic realm is on high alert, surrounding you, protecting you, and guiding you into the next chapter of your life. The investigator was caught. The scheme was exposed. The victory is yours. Now, I ask you to take a moment to reflect on what God has done. He saw the hidden plot before it could harm you. He exposed the investigator before his lies could take root. He protected your name, your calling, your destiny. This is not just a story, it's a miracle. And miracles are meant to be shared. By liking this message, you're saying, I see what God has done, and I stand in faith for what He will do. By commenting, you're proclaiming, this is my testimony, and I will not be silent. Your engagement is not just an action, it's an act of worship, a declaration that you are aligned with heaven's purpose for your life. As you move forward, know this deep in your soul, this is not the end of your story, it's the divine beginning of a brand new chapter, written by the hand of God Himself. The exposure of the investigator was not just a random incident, nor merely a human justice at work, it was the hand of heaven unveiling what was hidden, bringing darkness to light, and announcing that your story is about to shift in a way only heaven could orchestrate. This unveiling was the sound of chains breaking and lies collapsing. It was God's way of saying, no more delay. No more deceit. No more hidden hands pulling strings in the dark. What was meant to destroy you has become your testimony. What was designed to trap you has become your escape route. The trap set before you has now become a stage where God will display His power and faithfulness. The one who betrayed you thought their actions would break you, but instead, it broke open the heavens to pour out justice, clarity, and divine favor over your life. You will begin to see signs confirming this shift, silences replacing gossip, distance forming between you and those who once pretended to walk with you, questions arising in places where certainty once stood boldly. Do not be shaken when this happens. Do not run back to what God is removing. The silence is sacred. The distance is divine. These changes are heaven's way of pruning your path and preparing your heart for the elevation that is coming. Pay attention, but do not be distracted. Do not let your heart be consumed by revenge or curiosity about how the betrayer is dealing with their consequences. Justice is God's. What you need to focus on is the light that's breaking through the clouds, the calling that is becoming clearer, and the doors that are now unlocking one after another. God has not just removed the mask from your enemy, He has removed the limits from your destiny. Child of heaven, this moment belongs to you. The shaking you felt inside your spirit wasn't anxiety, it was heaven roaring with preparation. That tightness in your chest wasn't fear, it was your spirit stretching to fit the new level of authority and grace you're about to walk in. You were never meant to stay small. The enemy tried to confuse you, delay you, and distract you, but he could not destroy you. Why? Because you are protected. You are chosen. You are marked by the fire of God's promise and the seal of His eternal favor. Now, rise ye not with hesitation, but with holy confidence. Walk as one who is called for such a time as this. Speak as one who knows the King of Kings stands behind every word. Move like someone who understands the throne of heaven has already ruled in your favor. Your enemies thought they were playing a game with your life. What they didn't know is that God doesn't play games, He fulfills prophecy. Let this be your declaration: I am not defeated. I am not confused. I am not afraid. I am walking in victory, clarity, and divine direction. like this message to declare your faith boldly. Comment and testify or tell your story, no matter how messy it's been, because that mess is becoming a message of glory. Share this light with someone else who needs to know that God still sees, still speaks, and still saves. This is not just a revelation. It is the start of a revolution in your life. No plan of the enemy can override the purpose of God. No hidden motive can eclipse heaven's decree. You are rising now, and not just for yourself, but as a sign to the world that when God steps in, everything changes. Rise, child of heaven. The light is on you. The angels are with you. And God, your defender, is going before you.